I'm going to open with a greeting in Hawaiian, and the purpose is to, if you brought in any garbage into the room, we want to take that back to zero. Yeah. Pua mai mai kapo iloko, ka ma lama lama, wao no ka ha, ka male ola, wao no ka poho, ke ka ele ma waho a ino ke au pao. Ka I, ke kino ihu na me au pao. Ka iau I ku u pi o na nui nui, ma waho a ino kai au pao. Ka ho o mau mau o mana nao, a me na me au pao. Ka wao no ka ho, a me ka ha, he huna kamakane, nahi nahi, ka hua huna, o kumalipo, o wao no ka I. I am the I. I come forth from the void into light. I am the breath that nurtures life. I am that emptiness, that hollowness beyond all consciousness, the I, the it, the all. I draw my bow of rainbows across the waters, the continuum of minds with matters. I am the incoming and the outgoing of breath, the invisible, untouchable breeze, the undefinable atom of creation. I am the I.
The name of this video is Goat's Question. Goat is an anonymous person. And the question is, please give us a mini video on how to move emotions without confrontation. And I don't even know how to address that, but I do have some things to say about that, because some people just can't do it. They're too triggered or they're too hurt. So this video is for super sensitive people, empaths, people who are so hurt that doing deep emotion release work is they just can't deal with it. It's just too much for them. And also for people, spirits that are there's some very light spirits in the world who they've never really been exposed to great traumas, but they still get loaded up, and they never had really hard abuse, and they've had very little emotional wounding, but they still want to clear. You still want to clear your soul, your will, from what's loaded up. For those people, you can do a lot of judgment and denial releases, because every judgment and denial has a little vibration to it that becomes clouded in the form of a judgment and a belief and a denial that denies you. And for some people, they can get a lot of relief just by doing the judgment release and what I'm going to show you, and denial releases and forgiveness. Recognizing what's going on, accepting what's going on. Forgive yourself for allowing that stuff to be attached to you. Release it and replace it. It's a very powerful, simple, wonderful little process. But keep in mind anybody doing language lessons of the heart came to the earth at this time to heal people, heal themselves, and heal Mother Earth. You are a major player if you're doing this work. You've taken on very much heavy karma, trauma, because you said you were strong enough to handle it. Most of you bitten off more than you can chew. So language lessons of the heart is to help you needed to get back. It's the help you needed to get back your power, get back and find your love center again, and most of all, to get your memory back. Because coming into this earth as a human being takes away your memory. You came here with a purpose, you forgot that purpose because you were beaten up and traumatized, hurt, crushed, all that stuff. So you don't have the memory of what your full mission was to come to this earth. You came to this earth with a mission to do something. So for you, practicing language lessons of the heart is to do the deeper emotion release work is called for because you are a major player and a big part of the cleanup crew and the healing team. Okay, you're healing people. You want to heal the world, and you have compassion, all this stuff, but you forgot what you're actually here to do and why. There's a higher rescue team. There's like an emergency rescue team that was formed up in the other realm, and they sent you to do this. So what you reach with language lessons of the heart, you can teach. Okay, and this is core. All the stuff in language lessons of the heart is the core issues of what's going on with people. So for star seeds, walk-ins, indigos, crystal beings, channelers, healers of all kinds, light workers, and meditators, I am truly sorry. I have taken so long. It was not easy for me. I came in the first wave in 1950 with a simple mission. How do people get hurt and how to fix them? That was my mission. That was a burning question that I've had all my life. I have dyslexia. And as a result of riding the short bus all my school life, I developed a world-class bad self-image. My father was a great guy, but he was also a mass murderer. And he killed thousands of people in World War II, as a lot of your parents and grandparents have, and still are. You have this, loved my parents, but my dad was, has to do this stuff. He and my mother were both alcoholics. My sister went crazy after she was forced to give up her baby out of wedlock. And so my senior year in high school was on suicide watch. When I got home from school each day. And the day came when I came home and I see her bed laying on a trash pile, the gigantic puddle of blood tossed in the trash. Most of her blood was soaked into it. Now she survived, but she went on to set the record in the state of Florida for the most electroshock therapy that any person had ever been given. So, what makes people crazy and wounded is burned into my soul. It is my mission in this lifetime, and it was burned into my soul. That's what I came here to find out. How people get hurt and how to get better. I only have 2 skills in my life. Just 2. Really. I mean, One, I was very fortunate that I have been exposed to 4 enlightened beings, 4 gurus, 4 enlightened people. And that had a profound effect on me. And one became my teacher, and he was a living perfect master. you don't know what that is, you can look it up. So my first skill was to do meditation. And with my world-class bad self-image, everything and everybody was better than me. Everything. So I got this meditation, and that was something I could do, okay? That was something I could actually do. So I went after my meditations deep, you know, because of my bad self-image. I mean, I remember the first 6 months I would do 6 hours of meditation a day, 6 hours. 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours as soon as I got home from work, and 2 hours at night. 6 hours of meditation a day. You know, then I did it for like 15 years and it tapered off, but so there was neurosis, you know, and insecurity mixed up with that. I'm not good enough, and you know, maybe I can get some love this way. My other skill was as a carpenter and a cabinet maker. That's what I am. I'm not a big psychologist. I've studied psychology. I've read hundreds and hundreds of books on psychology because, you know, what makes people crazy. That was my mission in life. But my actual skill was as a carpenter. And because of my bad self-image, I knew, since I was on the short bus, failed 4th grade, I knew that if I didn't do carpentry really, really well, I wouldn't be able to survive in this world. So I became an excellent carpenter and cabinet maker. And so I had to do, you know, so here's how I did it. I was able to visualize how to build a house, how to put in a door properly, all the steps to do that, how to build a roof, how to form the concrete foundations. I could take a set of drawings and build the whole house step by step by step, process by piece by piece by piece, and see how the whole thing worked together. So I could see it from the top down, inside out. I had the whole thing in my mind. Yeah? And the same thing with cabinets. You get a set of drawings for cabinets, and there's so many individual cabinets, and so many drawers, so many widths, so many depths, so many doors, drawer fronts, all that kind of stuff. The depths, the width, the upper cabinets, all that. Build the whole thing in my mind, step by step first, before we built the cabinets. So being able to see every step that it took to get something done, because in my mind it was kind of like a life or death thing. I had to do this because my life depended on it. And I was able to do things like make cabinets or build a house with 0 mistakes, none. So those are my only 2 skills. And they were both driven by a world-class bad self-image. So, you know, and then I'm hitting 30, 38, 39, I had a midlife crisis. My world started falling apart, lost my job, girlfriend left me, it's going to lose my house, right? And you know, girlfriend for 12, 15 years, so it was like more like a wife. So then I was going to do my, you know, I had to recover my emotional body, and it's like, and at the same time I had finished meditating. That's another old story. So somebody came along and said, look, why don't you try doing this judgment release? You know, so I tried that and started to have some results. And somebody said, look, your emotional body is way out. You're like, you know, so I was like trying to be this good boy saint. when I was like full of resentment, anger, and guilt, and shame, and righteousness, because I was like this little, what do you call it, a fake spiritual person. Fake. I was a fake. Yeah. So then I learned about doing emotion release, and Here again, I had some great teachers and people around me to help me out. I didn't do this by myself. I was always around. I mean, when you have living perfect masters and you have people come into your life, I was getting help because there was this thing I had to do. So with my two skills, I went into my emotional body. With my meditation, I could have my mind completely fixed on the situation of what was happening to me, right? Completely fixed, unblinking, perfect concentration. And then with my carpenter cabinet skills, I saw step by step by step how I became wounded, step by step by step. And how, and when I started to get relief, I started to feel like, oh my God, that's gone now. I saw the step by step of what happens to get better. So language lessons of the heart came from that. I saw how my emotional body got wounded, and what a judgment is, what a denial is, what it does to you. And so when I'm building this understanding, I could see all the way into the future and all the way into the past of where it started, what happened, and how it worked all the way through because of that one skill that I had. Because of my bad self-image, I had to have that skill. So that's how I know, and how I was able to trace back to the beginning, to what's happened now, the house that I'm in now, and also to see what's going to happen into the future because of each judgment, each word, each feeling. That was my training. And that's how Language Lessons of the Heart came to be. And I had enough momentum to do a few workshops, and I was trying to write a book, but I was coming from basically an illiterate, kind of savant kind of guy to try to do this very sophisticated, trying to write a book. I didn't know how to even talk as a conversation until I was 21. And I just wanted to say, it took a lot to reach the understandings that I have, and I want to say I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But it took so long. But I have recovered my memories. My memory goes back to the first creation, the second creation. I've watched this earth cool down. I've watched us all descend to earth and incarnate. And I have these memories, and so do you. We all do. Your memories are locked up in trauma, judgment, denial, and lots of denied power. We're very powerful beings. You've been so hurt and traumatized, you may not even want to be here anymore. You've forgotten why you came. This is just too rough. It's too hard. It was overwhelming. You want to check out, you want to leave this place. There's a lot of people like that. Forgot who you are. And it's because you have no clear process to recover your memory, to recover your power, to recover your center and recover your heart. And again, I'm so sorry. If I could have gotten this done sooner, I would have. Whoa. So it's a day later, and kind of recovered. And let's get on to the question, Goat's question. Please give us a mini video on how to move emotions without confrontation. And this baffled me for a while because I tried to fit it in my head, but it's actually a very, very good question. It is a critical question. So if somebody comes at you, you know, a boss or a coworker, and you get in an argument and have a confrontation, right? And you want to scream at them, yeah? You want to scream at them. So really, technically the thing to do is never have face-to-face, never have face-to-face with anybody for anything, because you're not healing them, you're healing yourself. So if you're really loaded up and you're really angry, you're really hurt, go home and move your emotions as loudly and as long as it takes away from that person. Yeah? Because you're not healing them, you're healing you. You're healing what happened to you. You're healing what you took in to your soul. Remember, you're always experiencing your soul. You're not what you think you are a soul. And the goal is to have your soul clean and clear and pure and vibrating, right? Buzz, you want it buzzing nice. And that's what the real goal is. It's not them. See, the confrontation with the external that's the illusion. It's always the vibration of what's going on in your soul. So when you express out, it's trying to express what is in your soul out. Yeah? But the real relationship is between your thoughts and your feelings. Okay? I'll give you an example. You're driving your car, right? And somebody cuts you off and you start screaming at them, you asshole, right? You asshole, you jerk, right? And you have this feel, oh man, you're angry, this is a road rage. You're really angry at them, right? But then they're in the car, they go. There's no way you can have a confrontation with them. You're only having a confrontation in your own mind. And what you have done is you have judged them. First they have hurt your sensibilities, your identity about the way people are supposed to drive, and they cut you off or whatever they did, went too slow, too fast. So that it is your identity that got knocked around about the way it's supposed to be, and then that shock went down into your emotional body, and now you're angry, and you're judging them. You're a lousy driver. I hate you. You're a jerk. Fuck you. Fuck off. Right? You're vibrating that back out, okay? So, what to do? It's not them, it's you. And I'm going to use this example for the soul. This is the flywheel of a car, right? But I'm using it as a soul. So you're driving along and this thing happened, and boom, you hear that sound? That vibration, right, is your soul vibrating. That anger, that resentment, that's your soul vibrating. And it's not them that you have to heal. And it's not even your reaction. It's not even your reaction to them that you have to heal or clean or make nice, right? It is your soul. It is your soul. You want your soul clean, clear, smooth, able to function properly. Yeah? Flywheel is that thing that's in between the clutch. The motor is spinning on the flywheel and it's supposed to be free, and the clutch engages it The clutch engages into the flywheel and slows the motor down from its natural state and engages it into the anger, the transportation. It moves you away from the center of your soul, okay? That's what a clutch does. It moves you, it connects the transmission to the wheels, and all of a sudden you're rolling in a different direction. You're having a nice day, this guy cuts you off, and now you're in another direction. Oh, it's a lousy day, and this guy's this, and you're in another direction. Your clutch, has hit the flywheel, which is your soul, and now you're moving in another direction. Now it's a lousy day, this guy cut me off at work. Okay, so how do you do this? How can you do this? Now you're at work, you're going to sit with this all day, yeah? Whether it's a Cubans or a black guy or a lady driver, whoever the judgment is, right? Yeah, well, I'll tell you a little physics. There's a physics of consciousness, and I call it the Harrell's Law. That is that spirit and will can never be divided. They can only be ignored or denied. Spirit and will are always connected. Only you can deny it or judge it. There's no separation. So that's why you're angry, but it's actually connected to your soul. And now your soul is dirty with this anger, resentment, and judgment, right? It gets the boxes again, The box clouds your soul. You can't reach your soul anymore. You're thinking it's them because it has the driver on the box. You're thinking it's them, yeah? But it's really your soul. It's clouded. It's the soul that you'd ignore, and it's your soul you deny. So, the whole trick is to recognize that you've just allowed your soul to become wounded, damaged, hurt, and it has to now hold a judgment against another person you don't even know. A resentment, an anger, yeah? So, I'll teach you something that's very, very old. This goes back to the land of Mu. Remember I told you earlier that how my memory goes back? Well, this comes from the land of Mu. So, the first thing you have to do is recognize. Remember the judgment release? Recognize, accept, forgive, release, and replace. Right? That's a formal release. Right? So the first thing you do is you recognize that now your soul is vibrating, you're angry, you have judgment, right? And now it's this, instead of a clean, freewheeling, vibrating thing that is who you really are, now it's loaded up and it's engaged and going somewhere you don't really want to take your soul to, a place of anger, resentment, judgment, right? The first thing is to recognize that, right? And when you recognize that, you have to take responsibility. You have to accept that you let that happen, that it has happened to you, and you let that happen to you. So you have a responsibility. You don't like it, of course nobody likes it, but we're not talking about them out there anymore, we're talking about you in here. So first you recognize that you're vibrating. You recognize that your soul was hurt, and now it's vibrating and it has to engage something other than what it was supposed to be engaged in, which was wholeness. So you recognize and you accept it. That's the situation, right? And then you forgive. You ask for forgiveness and you look down into your soul and you say, please forgive me. I am so sorry. I hurt you, I let you be hurt, I let this vibration come up, yeah? Please forgive me, I love you, and thank you. right? And you do this until the energy is gone. The energy dissipates and you're clean again. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. I'm sorry. Sound familiar? And you are saying it to your emotional body. You're saying it to yourself because you don't want to carry that dirt around. Okay? This is in the same example of driving the car, but now I'm going to change the example to somebody actually does come up to your coworker or your sister, your mother, somebody comes up to you and they start loading you up and you load them up and you have this conflict of identity, and now you think your sister's a bitch or your mom's like in denial, or your mom's a jerk and your mom's like got issues, and you know, so then you have this image. Now you have the image of the sister or the image of the mom, right? That's not what it is at all. The image that you carry of them is now impressed in your soul as judgments and denial. So you have denied your soul's purity. You've denied your soul's condition. Its vibrancy. You've put a cloud on your own soul. So, again, without having to do a deep primal emotional release work for those people who are sensitive or just can't get to it, or that's just not in their nature to do it, you turn your mind back through your heart with compassion. You know, you recognize that this has happened. Boom. You accept your responsibility. You accept that this happened, even though you don't like it. You accept that that's what's actually happened, is now your soul is carrying this junk around for your mother, your sister, whoever it is. Wife, brother. And you clear it out. And you say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. You know, and you just do it, and you just keep and you connect with through your heart into your will, and you release it. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Yeah, until it's calm again, until it's clear again, until it's pure again. That's why you don't have to. You're not moving emotions. You're moving your consciousness in advance of the emotions. Yeah. So your consciousness is like the purpose of your ego, your mind, is to keep your soul pure. Okay, and when you do this, so now you have the mother and daughter, or mother, sister and brother relationship, right? When you do this, and all of a sudden you're not holding the judgments, the release, you're not holding the judgments and the image of them on the box anymore. The image is gone because now it's free. Yeah. Now when you see them, there's not that she is a bitch. She's always out for her own self, and she's always this and that, and all that's gone. Please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't know. It's not true. You release it. Just let it go. Let it go. This is very gentle, but it's like a yoga, because we get confronted all the time. Every day we get confronted by something. Every day we judge somebody. Oh, Obama's this, the political situation is that, and that. So we get loaded up with the political situation. We get loaded up with Obama stuff, and we get loaded up with this and that. And just no. You don't want your soul loaded up with unconscious, stupid stuff that is not in your control. It's not like decorations of the soul. It's like shit slinging at your soul. So you don't want shit stuck to your soul. You want to clean that. Yeah? Your soul is designed to excrete and release anything that you'd come in. So you have to concentrate and say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I didn't mean to do it, thank you. Yeah? Until it's gone. And when it's gone, then the outside reflection is gone. So in the case of your mother or your sister, you're not holding the whole image that they have this history of this and all the past wounds. All that stuff's got to go, because that's not who they are. That's not who you want to hold them as. That's not who you want to hold. You don't want to form your will into this place like that, right? So you clean it. You clean, right? You clean the whole thing. You clean it. Make sure it's freewheeling. Make sure there's nothing stopping it. You know, it's just vibrating the way it's meant to vibrate. It's not having to engage with these judgments, engage with the belief, engage with pain, engage with the past. Yeah? So you forgive yourself and you let that, and you allow your soul to let that stuff go. It's as easy as that. It comes from the land of Mu, because they knew about that stuff, because there they were a lot softer, and they understood, because they were all soul, they understood when you load something up, it has to be released and accepted and forgiven, because you're the one who did it. It was your ignoring your soul, denying your soul, and relying on your identity. My identity got hurt. She hurt my identity. She said I was stupid, or she said I was this, or my sensibility, the world should be this way, and she's acting that way. You see? That's your beliefs. You know, and your beliefs end up polluting your soul. It doesn't matter what the world is this way or that way. If it pollutes your soul, that's not. The result is you have a polluted soul, a damaged soul, a wounded soul, a dirty soul, clean face and a dirty soul. Yeah. So to clean your soul, recognize that every time you judge, or every time you've been hurt, or every time you've been attacked, when somebody's attacking you, it's a tough, but that is a magnetic thing that's connecting you to them, and you have to release that, and eventually they will see that they can't attack you anymore because there's no resistance there. Yeah? This is very, very powerful. So this process, it went from the land of Mu, which is Lemuria, and the shamans and teachers understood this. People understood this. It was an understanding that people had when they loaded each other up. They wanted to feel each other's life breath, soul breath of life. They wanted to connect soul to soul. Yeah? And that's what was keeping them from connecting breath to breath, soul to soul, were these judgments and these impressions on their soul that held resentment and separation. See? Separation. There is no separation. Separation can only be through denial and judgment. There's no separation between anything. To make a separation is to wound your own soul. That's why judgments and denials are so powerful. And why emotional release is so powerful, because it brings you back together. So that was happening in the land of Mu, but then, Mu's big wars and all this other kind of stuff happened. And then the very last shred of it ended up in Hawaii. And this process is called Ho'oponopono. And everybody knows that. A lot of people know Ho'oponopono. But nobody really understands how it works. There's only one or two Ho'oponopono masters around. It's worth looking them up. But it's about keeping your soul pure and releasing the built-up resentment, identity, conflicts, beliefs, the stuff that stick to us, anger and resentment. And it happens every day, Oh, why is this person parking in my spot? No, they're so unconscious, and you see, you judge them. Now you have a separation. And okay, so well, maybe they did do that, but now you've got a polluted soul, and your polluted soul, or your clean soul, what you want is your clean soul, is much more important than if somebody took your parking spot. Much more important. Much. So that's how you can move emotions without confrontation. If you can have the yogic skill, the presence of mind, to do this as a yogic path, to not let anything impress your soul, so you're fresh and receptive to this world, without thoughts or beliefs or judgments or denials, having to filter everything that you see and making your wheels turn into fighting this or running away from that or being afraid of this or angry at that. You see, you're being engaged by the pollution that got stuck to your soul. You don't have to do that. Clean your soul out, apologize, forgive yourself, It happens, you forgive yourself and ask for forgiveness until it's gone. You'll feel it go, because you know that when that rings, when it rings, right? It comes, when it's released, it stops the ringing. It stops ringing, you stop feeling it, it's gone. You feel it's gone. And that's how you do it for the goat. But for long-standing things that are like really, really bad, for the major players out there, you do your deep emotional release work, because when you do, not only are you healing your stuff, you're healing other people's stuff. When I feel you, I don't just feel myself, I feel you too. Sometimes that's why I get choked up. I feel everybody. So, major players, you've had major shit happen to you in your life, you have major power, and you're a major piece of the puzzle. Do the deep emotional release work, because you're pulling stuff up. You're pulling stuff up from the foundations of creation. You're pulling stuff up from past lifetimes. You're pulling stuff in from your families and friends who you don't even know, and you're moving their stuff. So the people who are really doing this work are major players. They're not the light beings and the sensitive creatures. We do the heavy lifting for the people who can't, for the children who shouldn't have to, for the future generations. And I don't know, that's probably 40-something minutes. That's enough for like a mini video. And again, I'm sorry if I could have got these understandings to people sooner. I would have. I've been worked on, and so if you get angry that why is the world so fucked up and why hasn't God given me some help, you can blame me, because I didn't get here fast enough or early enough or in advance of the time that you were really hurting. Or maybe even I didn't get here fast enough, you hurt, then you crushed it over and now you're discouraged. So you can blame me for that if you want, that's okay. I can take a lot of blame and suffering. So can you. Alright, thanks for watching, and we're going to move into some fun things next. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the last of my 4 processes, which is talking to the parts of self. And that's going to be fun, because it's going to take everything to a whole nother level. I let it be last because it's one of the most important ones.